Okay guys, this is review video 4, our last one. I can represent solutions on number lines. So for the next 4 problems, we're going to solve these inequalities, and then we are going to graph them on the number line. So first, let's solve them. 4x minus 9 is less than negative 18. So my constant is negative 9, so I'm going to add 9 to both sides. That'll give me 4x is less than 9. I'm going to divide both sides by 4, which will give me x is less than or equal to 2 and 1/4, or 2.25, either way, okay? So for this one, if we were doing our number line, and just to make sure you know how I got the 2 and 1/4. 9 divided by 4 is 2, and I would have 1 out of the 4 left over as my remainder. Okay, so let's say that this is my number line. This is negative 2, this is negative 1, this is negative, or not negative 0, but just 0. Okay, and then this is negative 3, and this is negative 4. This is x is less than, so 2 and 1/4 right about here would get an open circle, which means it's not included in the solution, okay? And it would go to the left because it's everything less than 2 and 1/4, okay? Let's look at 27. 7x plus 22 is greater than or equal to 15. Let's go ahead and solve that. My constant is 22, so I'm going to subtract 22 from both sides. We would be left with 7x is greater than or equal to 15 minus 22. So this is going to be a negative 7. Because when I combine a positive 15 and a negative 22, I get negative 7. I'm going to divide both sides by 7, which leaves me x is greater than or equal to negative 1. I don't have to flip anything because I didn't divide by a negative. Okay, my answer is a negative, but I didn't divide by a negative. So x is greater than or equal to negative 1. Okay, so this time on our number line, if this is negative 1, then this is 0, and this is 1, this is negative 2, this is negative 3. X is greater than or equal to negative 1. So we would say that this is a closed circle because it is included in the solution, and everything to the right of negative 1 would be included as a solution. Okay, let's look at number 28. Negative 8x minus 10 is greater, than negative 26. I'm going to add 10 to both sides. That would give me negative 8x is greater than negative 26. Plus 10 is going to give me negative 16. Okay, I'm going to start writing this over here because I'm going to run out of space. Negative 8x is greater than negative 16. I'm going to divide each side by negative 8. That would give me x by itself. I divided by a negative, so I've got to switch my inequality symbol. And negative 16 divided by negative 8 is just going to be 2. So x is less than 2. So 2 would get an open circle, not included, and everything to the left of 2 that is less than 2 would be included in the solution. Okay, number 29. 12x plus 12 is less than or equal to 72, so we're going to subtract 12 from both sides. Okay, I'm going to rewrite up here because I'm running out of space. 12x is less than or equal to 60, because 72 minus 12 is 60. We're going to divide each side by 12. So x is less than or equal to 5. So if I put my 5 right here, 5 would be included in my solution, and everything less than 5, so going to the left, would also be included in that solution. All right. Again, if you started this early, this bottom part might have been something that you kind of had a difficult time with, and that's okay because we hadn't really talked about these so much yet in class yet. We're going to do that over the next couple days. Megan is saving up to buy a new cell phone that costs $220. So far, she has saved $175. She would like to buy the cell phone in 4 weeks. Write and solve an inequality to represent at least how much she must have every week in order to purchase the cell phone. Okay, so we're going to write an inequality to represent at least how much she must save every week in order to purchase the cell phone. So let's go forward with what we know. Okay, Megan is saving up to buy a new cell phone that costs $220. So we know the cost of the cell phone is $220. We also heard at least, right? At least 220. So greater than or equal to 220. So far, she's saved $175, and she would like to buy the phone in 4 weeks. So plus 4x. Our x right here stands for the amount she needs to save in those 4 weeks. So then we would solve the inequality like normal. We would subtract 175 from both sides. That gives me 4x is greater than or equal to 45. Okay, we would divide each side by 4. We add some zeros because we're talking about money. 2 times. And then that would be 8, 2, add another 0, 5, $11.05. So x is greater than or equal to $11.25. That's the amount she needs to save per week. X is greater than or equal to $11.25. She has to save at least $11.25. All right, let's look at number 31. A warehouse holds 460 boxes. They ship out 65 boxes each week. After how many weeks will they have less than 100 boxes remaining? Write and solve an inequality that can be used to determine how many weeks it will take for the warehouse to have less than 100 boxes. Okay? Less than 100 boxes. Let's go forward with what we know. So we know that there are 460, and we know that they can do 65 each week. We're trying to figure out how many weeks, the x, it would take us to have less than 100 boxes. I am going to do this with a marker right next to it because Mrs. Brown wrote way too big on her paper to solve this inequality with y'all. So we have 460 minus 65x is less than 100. Let me zoom out. Okay. We are going to subtract my constant, which is 460. So I'm going to have negative 65x is less than negative 360. Okay. We're going to divide each side by negative 65. So that would give us x, and because we divided by a negative, we have to flip that inequality, is greater than negative 60 divided by 65. So 65 times 4 is not enough, times 6. That's too much, so it's going to be 5. So it'll be 5, because that was 325, and then we have 360 minus 325, would give me 35. So it would be 0.54 weeks. X is greater than 5.54 weeks, so about 5.5 weeks it would take them to get less than 100 boxes. All right, I will try to write smaller on the next one so I don't have to do all that extra stuff on the paper. Let me zoom back in. Okay. So a 15-passenger van is rented for a family vacation. The van rental is $60 per day plus a $145 insurance fee. How many days can the van be rented if they want to spend no more than $625 on the van rental? So no more than, less than or equal to $625. Okay, let's figure out what else we know. The van is rented $60 per day. Per day, that's our variable, plus a $145 insurance fee. Okay, I did it again. I wrote too big. It happens. Okay, so one more time. Let me zoom back out. Switch colors because that was kind of hard to see. Okay, so we have 60x plus 145 is less than or equal to 625. Okay, 145 is my constant, so I'm going to do the opposite and subtract 145 from both sides. 60x is less than or equal to 480. Okay, and then we want to divide both sides by 60. So x is less than or equal to 480 divided by 60 is going to be 80. So x is less than or equal to 80. Not 80, 8. This Brown's crazy. 8 days. So it would take them 8. They could rent their car or their van for 8 days. Check to make sure my answers make sense. 8 days, not 80 days. 8. All right, 33. Last one. I'm sitting at 11:58, guys, and it only lets me go for 15 minutes. So I'm going to try to talk really fast. Marco is limited to a number of hours of screen time. Each week, he decides to watch a movie that is 1 hour and 20 minutes on a Sunday. If he divides the remainder of time equally amongst 6 other days, then how many minutes can he watch each day? Write and solve the inequality. So he can watch 1 hour and 20 minutes, so that's 80 minutes. Plus 6x, because he has 6 days. And he needs that to be less than or equal to 7 hours, which is 420 minutes. Okay, so you would subtract 80 from both sides. That would give you 6s is less than or equal to 340. And then you would divide each side by 6. X is less than or equal to 56 2/3 minutes per day. 56 2/3, because when you divide this, you would get 56 with 2 out of the 3, no, with 4 out of the 6 left over, and then that would simplify to 2/3. Okay? All right, guys, message me with any questions. Remember that you're going to turn in this completed review as a completion grade before the equations and inequalities text next week, okay? Let me know if you have any questions. Message me, email me, and let me know.